Díagwit, mícheál is an dom agus tá mé caintenis os Gaeilge. Still with me? Good. What I just said there was, hello, my name is Michael and I'm speaking in Irish now. I went to school in Ireland, no surprise there, and for 10 years I had to learn the Irish language. Every day at school for 10 years. And I really didn't enjoy it. I hated it. I really did. Every minute I resented. And that was reflected in my test results. Almost every test I did, almost every exam, I failed. I have a very long and ignoble history of failure when it comes to the Irish language. And it still rankles today actually, it still hurts a little bit. So why is it that I, someone who knows what the pain of failure, why do I fail some of my students? Why do I fail some of your staff? I fail people when those people do not demonstrate a minimum level of knowledge and ability in a subject. So if I'm teaching a subject and your staff cannot convince me that they know about it, that they've learned something about it, that they're able to perform something, then I fail them. And that may seem harsh. Why not just let people sit in on the course, absorb it, and then just go along their merry way? Why do we test them at all? Well, we test them to identify that they've learned something, and also to identify any areas of weakness, any areas that we need to improve upon. Because sometimes it's not necessarily the student's fault, sometimes it's the trainer. Maybe the trainer hasn't communicated an idea particularly clearly. I found this myself. If everybody gets question 7 on the test wrong, I need to ask why that is. Is it the way I phrased the question, or is it that I didn't actually cover that particular issue well in the training? So testing people helps to reveal what people don't know. And it demonstrates that people do know. And why is that important? Well, the bus driver has to prove that they're able to drive a bus safely. The pilot has to prove that they can pilot a plane safely. A surgeon has to prove that they can perform surgery safely, because they're dealing with people. Even an electrician has to pass exams to prove that they can install electrical circuits or whatever safely. And this applies just the same to your staff. Your staff are responsible for the welfare, the safety, the security, the survival of your residents. And they should know what they're doing. And we have to be able to show that they know what they're doing. Hence the testing. Now, do I assess people purely on the basis of their questionnaire at the end, their test at the end? No. I will also assess them based on their performance in the class. Are they paying attention? Do they ask questions? Do they answer my questions? Do they engage in discussions? Do they raise points? All these things demonstrate to me their level of understanding. It is quite possible that somebody may perform quite poorly in the test, but brilliantly in the class. Last week I had a lady who scored 4 out of 10. Technically a fail. But I could tell by the way she was in the class that actually she knew the subject. And after the class we sat down and I went through the paper again with her, changing some words, rephrasing other sentences, and she got 9 out of 10. She knew her stuff. It was the English language that was a problem for her. So people can fail for a number of reasons. It could be that they just go to pieces when you give them a test paper. And a lot of people do have anxiety. It could be because they just can't see it, their eyesight is so poor, they have difficulty reading. Or it could be that language is the issue. And I would say language tends to be the #1 issue why my students don't do so well sometimes. Working in London, many of the people I teach do not speak English as their first language. And some people's English is not that great, which means that they may struggle to follow what's going on in the class, and they may certainly struggle to answer questions in a test. So what do I do in that situation? When I am testing people, I make it very clear before I give out the test papers that if anybody has a problem, they should stay behind and I'll talk them through it. I may also even approach people before the test who I think might have an issue and tell them, listen, if you need to stay behind and I'll talk you through it. I want as many people to pass as possible. I want as many people as possible to show that they know. I'll still fail people though, and I make no apology for that. If they don't demonstrate knowledge, if for whatever reason they still haven't got it, I will fail them. Because those people need additional help, and giving them a pass when they don't really deserve a pass means they're not going to get that help. What do you think? Email me. My address is info@michaelhughestraining.com. Please subscribe, check out my videos, and keep up the good work.